thanks so much for having us out here today at the Pistol in Paris production facility, which is almost completed. And we're pretty excited that we're putting some Cannadri units in here.
For sure. Why don't we walk over? I'll show you what we're doing.
Yeah, let's go check it out. Yeah, we brought Mark over today. He's going to help with the install and make sure we get these things all dialed in. We got the nice graphics on your van.
Everybody knows the van, right?
Pretty badass,
cool
man.
Cannadri's in here.
And now look at this facility. Holy shit.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Good, man.
Mark, good to see you. Pleasure. Yeah.
Hello, Mark.
Good to see you.
Okay, let's get these things mounted.
What's your conditions at week 8 of flower? What temperatures do you like run?
We try to get down to 70, 71, 72 if we can, but...
And that's where a lot of guys go wrong, right? So it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
If you look at a chart of what that dehumidifier does in performance, that 500 pint is only around 280 pints, right? So now you're in a position where, guess what? Like you don't have 1,000 pints of dehumidification. So that's a big, big mishap that a lot of people miss. Pretty big though, eh?
They are big, yeah.
1, 2, 3. All right. So this is the Cannadri Crusader. 500 pints, that's at 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% relative humidity. First thing most people notice is you have a panel here, panel on top, panel side. I don't know, I can't tell you how many grow rooms I've been in and unfortunately, mechanical equipment gets placed in positions where you have it located in the most awkward, difficult position to service it. So for that reason, let's make everything accessible, right? If you can get access to one side, you can service this machine, which is great, right? The filters here, they slide out, just pop out. One thing you notice on the coil, it actually has a blue tinge to it. So this is an anti-corrosion inhibitor coil that gets dipped in the coil. And what it does is it helps prevent against corrosion, of course, but also chemicals that you might be using in your grow environment. So this is also good for potential of long-term leaks and concerns with that. So that blue fin anti-corrosion is also important. Inside of the Cannadri, you can see it's really nicely, simply laid out. This is what you'd have essentially in all DX dehumidifiers. DX dehumidification stands for refrigeration, basically. The evaporator provides the condensation as the airflow is across it. As the airflow is drawing in, the evaporator creates the condensation, and the condensation goes down. Then you have the condenser, which typically in an air conditioner would be your component that would be outside. Now the condenser reheats that air. It's essentially an air conditioner because you're cooling the air, but then you're also reheating the air. That is how a DX dehumidifier works. I mean, you have a metering device, you have a compressor, which is the heart of the system. This is pumping the refrigerant throughout. And then you have a supply fan, which obviously has to circulate to draw the air across the unit to create the moisture effect. So here you have a little terminal strip. This is if you wanted to use your own third-party dehumidifier thermostat, humidistat. Obviously a very popular one we see a lot of is TrollMaster, or even building management systems. People put in custom building management systems. This would allow you to just enable or disable the dehumidifier at your disposal to turn on or off the unit as required. Then you got your little controller here. The controller here is a touch display. There is a nice cover. We just wanted to make sure there was extra protection. It is water resistant from any moisture, but having the extra coverage, we wanted to make sure that you had a little extra protection. The supply fan you can see from the grill here, this is where the air is actually discharging out. After it goes through the evaporator, cools the air, creates condensation, we reheat the air, and now the supply fan is going to have slightly drier, but slightly warmer air. As you can see, it's got a big surface area. By having a big open volume area is going to prevent a large temperature rise. We don't want to see any hot spots or create any hot environments within the grow environment. So by having a bigger area, it changes the temperature rise that's coming in to the air leaving. How many guys do you hire to install a dehumidifier? 3. How many does it actually take? 1. I'll start cranking it, but we just gotta make sure the rod, because you're gonna have to bend it a bit. Just grab 2 washers each, and then when it slides on, just before it goes through, just pop the washers on. And then we'll grab the nuts are there, right? So then you can put the bottoms. Okay. Back a bit. Ron, back a bit. Yeah. Right there. Okay. Those will guide up. Okay. I'm gonna keep cranking. As you can see, it's pretty easy to install one of these yourself. You know, you get some ready rod, some unistrut, and you know, you can rent one of these genie lifts at any tool rental place. Most suppliers carry them, so it's easy enough to rent for a day. You know, costs you 60, 80 bucks, and you can install these yourself. You know, we always try to welcome having people do as much as possible, because getting contractors out can be expensive, and you know, let's be honest, contractors can't always be relied upon to show up, right? Okay, I'm gonna drop it. There we go. Oh man, that's good. I recommend nobody stands underneath it, or you owe the contractor. Eight on the spot. The main thing is not to have it unlevel, right? The unit's designed completely level, that the unit's going to drain to the condensate pan and out the drain. Where you have it, if one side was high, let's say it was jacked up on the angle where the condensate was flowing, that's what you don't want, right? So we're just making sure it's completely level. So the one thing we know about any grow room is that every room is different, right? Whether the lighting, the HVAC, the watering, the grow mediums, like everything you have to take into account, right? And you know, in this specific room, you know, we have to look at where the HVAC units are placed, how many units they need for their room, right? What is the appropriate amount? You know, we know that the water in and transpires at 97%, so water in equals water out. So typically the most accurate way to calculate how much dehumidification the room uses is through water in, water out. So I like to know that right up front of how much water I'm utilizing, and sometimes a grower might not know. They might change their medium, they might change their master grower. There's so many things to consider, so for that reason I always like to oversize 30-35% to ensure that no matter what they're going to be doing for a medium, what kind of system, that we ensure we have enough dehumidification.
That's cool, man. Very exciting. It'll be awesome having this throughout the building.
Yeah, it's great that it goes to show you care more about anything about your product by, you know, no cutting corners from start to finish, right? And commend you for that, right? A lot of guys don't do it and then they struggle later, but to do it from start to finish, that's great. Thank you. Awesome, buddy. Pleasure.